Hello everyone, I am Ratika Roy Bhattacharya. I welcome you all on my YouTube channel Study Together with Ratika. In the last video, we discussed about transportation in humans. In that video, we also discussed how arteries, veins and capillaries are helpful in transporting the blood, and also we saw the working of human heart. Today in this video, we are going to discuss transportation in plants. The exact meaning of transportation is movement of particles from one place to another place. This is the only reason why the water, mineral and food particles are able to get transported in the plants from the soil to other parts of the plant. The transportation takes place with the help of vascular bundles. Vascular bundles have two types of tissues which are xylem and phloem. These tissues are tubular in structure which are helpful in carrying the water, mineral and other particles for the transportation. The xylem transports in a single direction because the water and minerals are present in the soil, so the particles have to move from soil to top part of the plant. That is why unidirectional functions here. But in phloem, bidirectional process takes place because that the food particles are synthesized in the leaves and they have to reach each and every cell of the plant, whether it be the cells of the roots or the cells of the stems. Xylem helps in the transportation of water and minerals, whereas phloem help in the transportation of food particles. So here again a short trick is there. F for food, so for you pronounce it, F for phloem. So this pronunciation trick will be helpful for learning the type of particles transported from the phloem. In 9th standard, we discussed about the components of xylem. There are four components. They are tracheids, vessels, xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers. Among these, xylem parenchyma is living, all other are dead. So, we will see what are the processes involved in transportation of water and minerals. First of all, diffusion and transpiration processes takes place. Now what is diffusion? We will see this with the help of an example. For example, this is a room. You spray a small amount of perfume at this corner. After some time you will notice that the fragrance of the perfume spreads in whole of the room. Why? Because the particles of the perfume have higher concentration at this corner and in this area the concentration is very low. So the particles of the perfume spreads from high concentration to low concentration and this process is known as diffusion. Now we will see how this diffusion process is helpful in transportation. For example, these are the roots which are in direct contact with the soil. The soil has rich amount of water and minerals. The water and minerals with the help of diffusion process gets transported into the roots because the concentration of water and minerals is higher here in the soil and lower in the roots, and in this way the xylem is helpful in the transportation of water and minerals from the roots to upper parts. We also know that the xylem and phloem form a continuous channel from the lowest part, that is the roots, to the upper part, that is the branches, leaves and stem. So this continuous channel helps in the easiest flow of the water and other particles. This is about the diffusion process. Now transpiration, we know that the plant eliminates the extra amount of water and salts through the process of transpiration. They eliminate the water droplets at the margins, and this process is known as transpiration. Now you know, in this plant many number of leaves are there. It means huge amount of water and other salts are eliminated every day. Even you can say every minute, right? So this transpiration during the day, it creates a pull at the bottom, or you can say at the roots. Because of that pull, the transpiration pull theory works. For example, this is a single root. We know that water and minerals are present in the root as well as in the soil. But the concentration of water and minerals is higher in soil as compared to the roots. First of all, the minerals in the form of ions will move into the roots. This takes place with the help of active transport. Active transport means where the utilization of energy is taking place, and this energy is taken from ATP of the plants only. Because of the transportation of minerals, now the concentration of water particles in the roots are lowered, and in the soil it is high. That is why the water particles will also start moving through the process of diffusion. Now you know, when the water particles start getting added up at the lowest point, they will keep on adding and will make the other particles of water to move upside, right? And in this way, these water particles will reach to the topmost part of the plant. Now this is about diffusion and transpiration, right? Now we will see how the phloem is helpful in the transportation of food particles. The transportation of food particles is known as translocation, and this takes place with the help of phloem tissue. Phloem again has four types of components: sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. Among these, only phloem fibers is dead. Rest of the three are living. Now because they are living, they are able to generate huge amount of energy. Using that energy, active transport of food particles take place. Now you know, this is xylem which is present adjacent to phloem. This part is of phloem. These are sieve tubes and these are companion cells which are adjacent to the sieve tubes. At the end of sieve tubes, perforations are present. These perforations help in continuous flow of particles. Now this is the source, means the cell where the food particles are present. For example, this is the cell of a leaf. These are the sucrose molecules which has to be transported to target cell. It cannot go directly, that is why this process is present. Now I would like to brief you about a term that is going to take place here, that is osmosis. When I explained you about diffusion, I told you that the particles move from high concentration to low concentration. In osmosis, the particles move from high concentration to low concentration by passing through a membrane, right? So a membrane is there in between. For example, here you can say these two membranes are present. These two membranes are present which are helping osmosis to take place. First of all, the sucrose particles will get transported into the companion cells. This will be an active transport. Active transport, again I would repeat, takes place with the help of energy utilization, and the energy will be used of the plants only, which are in the form of ATP. After this, from the companion cells, because of the process of osmosis, there will be difference in the concentration of particles of sucrose. These sucrose particles will move into the sieve tubes. Now this pressure is not enough for the particles to move in any direction. That is why the xylem, which is present near the phloem or adjacent to the phloem, will move the water particles from the xylem to the phloem because of osmosis process. Because now the water is entering into this cell will swell up and a type of pressure will be created here. Because of that pressure, the solute particle means sucrose particles. So because of this pressure, the sucrose particles along with water particles will move into the direction where the concentration of these particles is low. So you know, here in this cell, particles of sucrose and water are not there. So they will move into this cell and also into the lower cell, which would be present here. The blue color shows the particles of water and the red shows sucrose. Now because of diffusion again, these particles will move to the companion cells and there will be difference in the water concentration. That is why the water particles which are present here, they will move to the xylem again, and here the sucrose particles will move to the target cell, and in this way you are able to see how this source cells is able to transport the food particles from source to the target cell. There is no direct transportation, but this long method is applied for the transportation of these food particles. This was all about transportation in plants. In our next video, we will be discussing about excretion in plants and in humans. Please subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you always get the notification whenever I upload a new video. Thanks a lot for watching.